Yay!
And voice!
And voice?
And voice!
Oh my god.
Okay.
We have the two key elements of a Twitch channel,
You know
video
what?
and voice.
That's good. And you know what? Bobby is still here. And so you should restart again. Bitch. I got so scared. And then I'm like, oh. Nick. It's just Nick being Nick.
here, so you should restart.
Nick being a biscuit.
Yeah.
So, okay, where we left off, there was the TPK.
First off,
and I
thanks to
just
our audience
re-rolled a
for
shaman.
dealing with all of our technical issues. So anyway, we're
Yeah,
back.
thank
so
you.
Happy second birthday.
Yep.
We're still not old enough to stop pissing and shitting ourselves, but we're here.
Well, again, new Streamlabs thing. I did warn.
Yeah.
New program. But,
You were
yeah.
warned.
Technology is
This is
just
good.
stupid. So
To all the new people who
Because I have
stayed with us.
gremlins. I have gremlins. Okay.
It's true.
Yeah. No, I get
so Ziggy just gave us the answer to life.
Yeah.
And
Uh-huh,
everything.
uh-huh.
it. Was it a number?
No.
Oh, that's not the
It's
answer.
not
for life.
42.
Answer
No.
42.
Due to budget cuts, the number
Thank
is
you,
much
Shepard.
lower.
Oh, thanks, Shepard.
Hell
Thanks
yeah,
for picking me up.
Yeah, Shepard, brand new, just showed up and gave us
Thank you.
some sympathy bits. We
Thank you very
appreciate
much.
Tech support
Tech
bits,
support
yeah.
bits. Yes. Thank you. Just
Tech-
make
you
Tech
guys are
support
the
bits
best.
always
You guys are
come
the
in
best.
1 or 2 digits, guys. So always make sure to like throw pennies at us when tech support happens.
Fling them at us.
Oh, Eric DeMage did back.
Nick, you did it
Oh,
wrong!
Hey, Nick's our stream boss, so everyone gets an edge.
Hey!
Thanks for the edge, you did it wrong. Alright.
So let's where exactly were we?
Okay, yeah. So you guys were in the
Area.
Ziggy.
Forward a
Yeah,
little.
you were talking to Ziggy, and you were asking him, or Ziggy was asking you guys how you guys felt about information being free, and how you felt about the corporations, and
Deliverance and
Voltar.
Fritz were like, fuck them, and Voltar was like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. She was like, yeah, sure.
thank you,
It's-
Bobby.
Thanks, Bobby.
Thanks, Bob.
Alright. So, yes. The information would benefit us greatly, and we would also be able to avoid things happening in the future like this.
All right. Well then, tell you what. You all sound like some fine, mighty, anti-establishment kind of folk. So I'll let you know right now. I work for, well, I don't work for anybody. Let's say I'm a partner of the of Black Star, the neo-anarchist organization.
And so you're
Black
receiving
Star.
the information from Black Star.
Yes.
Sounds like a username I'd see on Destiny.
Is that something that we know, like that would be a well-known?
Maybe, maybe not. They are canon in Shadowrun, but I don't know how well known they are. That would be an Opti question. But yeah,
Or
they probably would be
and-
known. I mean, I wouldn't see why they would be clandestine. They would be like,
Yeah.
they'd be like tagging shit all over the place. So yeah, but he wouldn't necessarily say that he's part of Black Star. He's not affiliated with them,
Right.
but he's letting you guys know that. So
All
he's
right.
it says if you ever need Black Star or we ever need you, how about exchange of services?
Sounds like a beneficial transaction. And he like looks at the other two.
Depends on the services. Depends on the services.
Well, trust me, we're not in the business of screwing over the people. So you can rest assured that everything's gonna be, well, I don't want to guarantee, because when you guarantee, that's when Murphy's Law comes in and fucks you over. So, no, just know that we're not intentionally trying to screw anybody. We have the best interests of everybody at heart.
All right. Well, we'll be in touch I suppose as long as Detroit's still standing. But if you ever need a job done, feel free to get in contact.
Hey, probably gonna need a lot of jobs done around here. When there's a big shuffle like this, there's gonna be a lot of people vying for power, Black Star included, and if we can get the power to the people, we can turn Detroit around.
I sure hope so.
Alright, well, I guess we better get back in. And looks around at everybody, and Sunshine's like, just as I was starting to get comfortable. And looks over at the vending machine and says, what do you want me to do about that? And the vending machine just kind of like goes side to side, and he's like, brought to you by Jolt Cola. And just like vending machines.
It's definitely one of the Borderlands vending machines.
Yes!
Totally.
Though all I can hear in my head is Circus of Value. So,
Isn't that BioShock?
yeah,
Okay. No, because you said Borderlands.
I know.
Anyway.
And I said, but all I can hear in my head is that.
Oh.
So yeah.
Circus of Value.
Love it.
Yes.
Circus. Fritz, will nod at them, and he will make his way out after pinging their calmly. No, he won't. He'll refrain. I'll refrain.
What he'll do is they'll provide you with like some kind of contact, some clandestine way of contacting, which chat can maybe be in charge of letting us know how that would work.
Man.
But yeah, so you have basically you guys can add Ziggy as a contact.
Sick.
All right. Will do.
As he's walking out, he peers into the Matrix and looks at the entity of Archivist, and says, give me all of the information you can about Black Star.
Black Star, mostly wiped out in the Azam War due to poor leadership. People are starting to rebuild now. They are a neo-anarchist group that are known for their humanitarian efforts, so to speak.
Information on the members?
Go ahead and give me you can give me the hacking test on that one.
Fine. So that's...
Let's get some rolls going.
Roll.
an RPG. That's 10, 11. So that's 11 and 2. Bam, bam. 6.
6. All right. It says, most prominent member would be, most prominent members: Rose Red, Opti, and those would be the two most prominent members. You can find, I forget, where does Bobby, do you know where Opti hangs out? Like, what's his actual like home city?
I don't know anymore.
That's a good question. I don't know where Opti resides.
Perhaps no one does.
Yeah.
Maybe wise.
But Rose Red, notorious as a high-end madam for wealthy business people and politicians. First in Toronto, then branching out to Seattle. So, Chicago. Opti's in Chicago. Radio host of Neo Anarchist podcast.
He kind of like nods in the Matrix, and then he thinks about the information to give, and says, Anna and I share the same birthday, August 17th, yet mine is 1986. And then he'll pop out of the Matrix.
1986.
You didn't hear shit. What are you talking about?
That's not Deliverance talking.
All
All
right.
day out.
Yeah, and the archivist goes, curious. Thank you for the information. All right, so with that, Ziggy packs up. They put the vending machine. The vending machine kind of like wheels itself up. They're gonna have to lift. I mean, whatever. Ziggy's a troll. He's got it. Between him and Sunshine, they should be able to handle the vending machine, the ice cream vending machine, and soda machine. And yeah, so they're on the move thanks to you guys. And so now they're going to, well, just say that they have they're going to have a more secure location. So you've kept Ziggy out of potential fire for now. And so how about we go to Rome?
Good.
I'm sorry. Well, just one quick thing
Sure.
beforehand.
Sure.
He says, well, before we get heading to Europe, it's in Europe, right? I'm not an idiot. Well, I am an
Yes.
idiot. but-
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm terrible with locations. Those coordinates I sent you to earlier, could we head that direction? I have to take care of things. His bunker.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, let's try.
Walter will nod.
What's the quick wrap up of this situation?
Quick wrap up. So he says, head this way, and then about 100 meters out, he says, stop. And he says, wait here. It shouldn't be but 15 minutes. And he gets out, and he goes, and there's, there's no real thing you guys hear. What he does, he enters the bunker, gets through the rubble. He goes and finds a chest that was in kind of a little alcove of a wall, and grabs some items from this chest. And he sees there's a picture that in a frame that was broken from the explosion of it was a family photo. He takes that and puts it in his coat and gives a good look around at everything. And then back at the vehicle with the two of you, about 13 or about 10 minutes goes by, and there is a giant, loud explosion from the direction he was heading. And he leaves the vicinity. So you basically see him like over the horizon, and then there's the giant fucking explosion behind him.
Walking away
and
from the
debris everywhere.
explosion.
And so yeah, he'll get back in the car, and yeah, he detonated his bunker, so it no longer exists.
Nice.
Right. Very cool.
And what is Voltar and Deliverance's reaction to that? Because that deserves a moment.
I mean, yeah, like Deliverance cries out and looks and scans the horizon, and then feels relief when she sees him, and kind of like, what? Did he do that?
He wordlessly gets in the car. He says, "All right, Europe."
Right. Yeah. Let's go to Rome. I guess.
Walter's gonna be that person. She's just staring at the window and she goes, "You exploded something.
Yes.
Are you hurt?"
He kind of opens his coat a little bit and looks around. Thankfully not.
She'll look back out the window. She'll just...
And then cut to smash cut between Voltar looking out the window and then going back through the window, and it's fucking Sky, because Voltar's in a plane and she's in the window seat, and now we're on a plane, and now we're landing in Rome. Hey, welcome to Rome. And thanks for the resub, Tim Chandler. Thanks for the entertainment and content. Well, thank you for that sub. We appreciate it, and thank you for watching. We love you.
Yeah.
Also, when Oz is a director, hire him. Just hire him.
Yeah.
Because I
Smash
just want to
cut.
see you. I just want to see you on set and being like, "All right, smash cut," and then it's gonna zoom out over here, and you're gonna be in a helicopter,
Okay, so we Marques had us all set to go to Rome, and he had someone for Deliverance to meet specifically. Is that how it was?
Yes, you were going to. Yes, you're going to meet with a man named Giovanni Mascio.
Giovanni Mascio. Okay, does he pick us up from the airport? Or do we have to look for him?
You know what? No. Obviously, Pureheart is going to pick you up at the airport. He's been sent on this errand to collect you. Now, as you're playing, let's set the scene a little bit. So, Rome. It's the capital of the Italian Confederation. It's nicknamed the Eternal City. This city completely lacks skyscrapers and arcologies. It's just 2- and 3-story buildings hugging like the different 7 hills. You can see as you're getting closer down, all of the streets are cobblestone and uneven pavement. And you can even see, like, here and there, like, all of the different bits of ancient Roman architecture that are still standing. But, like, the Colosseum, the Pantheon, the Roman Forum, the Vatican. There's lots of locations around that you can... that who knows what will be in your future. When you finally land at the airport, getting down from your first class seats, of course, of course, Marques, he's gonna book you first class.
He takes care of us.
Yeah. I mean, it's the least he can do.
The same guy? Isn't the same guy who set us up with that drunk pilot where I had to buy him a coffee?
Yeah. Yeah, what a classy gentleman sometimes.
Yeah.
And sent us in a cargo, like the cargo hold of a cruise ship.
Yeah, with cabbage.
Cabbages.
Totes. You now find yourself at the airport, and on the runway, as you're stepping down, you see a Pureheart. What is it that you drive again?
I suppose it's a very fancy sports car, a Eurocar Westwind.
Yes. So this sleek sports car that you can all fit into in the, like, one in the passenger seat and 2 in the back.
David Hasselhoff paladin over here.
Yeah.
It's like a gold yellow with chrome stripes down the length of it.
Nice. Did you say yellow?
All right.
Yeah, it's like a gold-ish yellow, like not like bright yellow, but like more gold.
Sick.
Like a honey.
Very paladin.
Yeah.
Sick. And chrome stripes. Cool. So that is what's there to greet you. And you know what? Actually, I would assume let's have Pureheart just like step down and introduce himself, right? Because that way he can see him. You gotta be the gentleman here, right?
Describe and introduce.
He's standing next to the car, standing up and leaning on it. Not leaning on it in like a sleazy way, but leaning on it because he's been waiting. But he stands at an impressive 4.5 feet tall, which is tall for a dwarf. All right.
Yeah.
And he has an extremely muscular build and luxurious blonde hair pulled back into a thick ponytail. He's clean shaven. He's got like the squarest, most chiseled jaw you've ever seen. And he's got a smile that is like absolutely joyous. He looks like he's on the verge of laughing constantly.
I totally picture Varric.
Yes, that's
Varric.
not a bad description. But there's a
Hottest dwarf
severity
ever.
in his eyes, like a very serious severity in his eyes.
He's looking hard in Hightown.
Yeah.
It is effing majestic.
Nothing majestic. Okay, he sounds awesome.
And since he's on a duty, a task from the order, that's why he was sent there, right?
Yes.
Okay, so he's in full body armor,
Regalia.
Like in uniform. Yeah, like full body armor. It's light blue with a great deal of gold and white detail and filigree work all over it. Feathers and angel wings and crosses, like the whole works.
Wow.
And on one hip, he's got a big large war hammer that hangs from a thingamajig. What do you call those?
Like a
Holster?
The
scabbard.
Scabbard?
No,
that's for swords.
It's like
but
a
sling.
Yeah,
a sling.
the hoopy thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rather than being a four, it goes. Yeah.
And it looks like it probably should be wielded with two hands, but it probably isn't because he's also got a shield on his back, and it's adorned with like the same blue and gold and white. But emblazoned in the middle of it are the letters EPH, and underneath it 6:11. Yeah, and he's waiting. EPH 6:11. Yeah, obviously a reference to a Bible verse.
Yeah. I hope the Bible verse is something about beating someone with a shield, but I know it's not.
Kind of.
Yeah, Fritz will sub-vocal, and he dryly says, "I wonder who we're going to meet."
Walter's gonna visibly, kind of, not point, but motion towards him, and she'll sub-vocal. It's that eccentric fellow, I bet.
Yes, that was the.
Oh, you were doing sarcasm. I'm not good at reading that.
He certainly strikes an image, doesn't he?
He certainly sticks out of a crowd, but then who am I to judge?
Usually the term is man of the cloth, but he seems more of the man of the steel.
All right, well, let's go meet Superman then.
All right.
I don't know who that is.
I understood that reference.
I've got a comic book for you to read.
I guess as they come out of the plane, because they're coming right off the plane, right?
Yes.
So as they come off the plane, he raises his, beefy hands. He raises his hand. He says, "Yeah." He says, "Hi, hello, brethren, come."
Oh, boy. I'm so excited to talk to this man.
You must be the three I was sent to retrieve.
I believe you are correct, sir.
We're a fucking quest item for this guy.
Yeah, we are.
He's a fucking level. He's a level 60.
Yeah.
Fucking.
I believe I was sent here to escort you. Please.
We're the NPCs in this one.
We are.
Ah, yes, escort missions, my favorite.
Everyone's
behind
favorite.
me.
Yes.
And do not run
We're
into
gonna
it.
follow you uselessly.
And don't do anything except be good. Don't get in my way.
He rushes.
Deliverance,
Who's in the front? Who comes off first?
I think Deliverance would probably come
Fritz
off.
is behind Voltar.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like Voltar is either in the middle or in the front.
Right.
She is the tank, after all. Now I must collect
And 8 bear asses. Yes.
Exactly, Greyman.
I think Deliverance goes right up to him and extends a hand and says, well, thank you for bringing us where we need to go. My name is Deliverance.
Ah, Deliverance. Yes, an interesting name. You must be familiar with. Do you smite spirits, evil ones?
Yes, I do.
That's good to hear. Deliverance ministry is quite a noble cause to help people live their purest life. My name is Sir George Pureheart. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Of course it is. Yes.
Would you care to introduce me to your compatriots?
Yes, we've got Voltar and Fritz here. Joining
Voltar.
The Voltine.
It's an interesting name, Voltar. Pleasure to meet you.
Do you extend a hand to shake her hand?
Of course.
She's got a really firm grip for a small frame.
ho, ho! Yes, this is quite a handshake. And this one, Fritz it was.
Hello, Boomunch. And he looks in his hand. It is a very dad handshake.
Grab the elbow.
Yeah. It's a pleasure to meet all of you. What I'm supposed to take you back to
Mr. Machio.
To Mr. Machio.
Ralph Macchio.
That's why I laughed earlier. You said Machio, and that's exactly what I thought. But yes. So should we go now? This is the vehicle we would be taking.
You missed out on an opportunity to use steed. This is my steed.
This is my vessel.
Oh my god, please call it your steed.
Is that what the license plate says? Is steed?
Oh yeah. Please.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
What? Of course it does. It says.
Yeah.
It says my steed. But he opens the door and asks you to get in and then is on
Who sits
his
up
way.
front? That's what I'm curious.
Okay, I want to spend a plot point to say that when Sir Pureheart gestures and is moving around, that Deliverance notices his scars from blood magic, or some sort of she notices some kind of telltale sign that maybe he uses blood magic.
Sure. You know what? Let's cut to you all in the car, and in this car, Pureheart has has this song. He's got the flower duet playing in his radio song.
Yes, absolutely.
I will spend a plot point to make that happen.
You're my fucking grandmother.
It fits the aesthetic.
She only plays gospel music in her car, no joke.
Oh man.
And Deliverance, since you're sitting in the front passenger seat, right?
Sure.
Yeah, let's say that. You notice what kind of scars would she see while you're driving Pureheart?
Oh, well, he's definitely got, he's got scars probably in most of the typical like on the palms of his hand, stigmata style scars, that seems to be what would make the most sense. But there are errant scars everywhere because, in the heat of battle, sometimes you got to make do. So, but most of them are around his hands, and you would see that because he, of course, being lawful good. he drives at 10 and 2, yeah.
Lawful good drives at 10 and 2, I think, is the best sentence of Join the Anarchy history.
Get a plot point. Get yourself a plot point.
Plot point.
Get it out.
Thank you.
Oh my god.
Lawful good is at 10 and 2.
Looks like you've seen a lot of action yourself, Sir Pureheart. She kind of indicates, sort of, casually indicates his scars.
Well, my life and my lot in life is that of a warrior, of course. I am a warrior for the Lord, and I do that however sees to be fit. I seem to... He looks at his hand and he says, I've been told that your purpose in coming here is to see me and those like me in particular. Am I correct?
Yes. I think we have a lot to learn from you. And I'm sure that our boss has other plans as well, but...
Well, I'm not privy exactly to the plans of Mr. Machio or exactly your purpose here, but I have been sent to find you, and find you I did, and deliver you I shall.
Excellent.
If Sir Pureheart is looking in the rearview window, Walter does a visible eye roll and just sticks her hand under her chin and looks out the window as he's talking.
Yeesh. Fritz, can you give me do you have biotech?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, can you give me a biotech, as you kind of
Hell yeah. That's gonna be a solid one. So, I need to put more points in this shit. Cha-cha-cha-cha. That is a 3. I will use some of our donation edge.
Hey.
So that is another 4 total.
Okay, good. Yeah. Kind of glancing and listening in the conversation, you notice the scars that Deliverance is pointing at, and like based on some of the directions of the scars and stuff, they look like some of them could have been self-inflicted.
He'll look at Deliverance when she asks about them. Is her demeanor in the questioning sort of like, I already know the answer that I'm looking for?
I think Fritz is probably intuitive enough that he would kind of be like, oh, okay, she's like digging. She kind of has maybe surmised that.
He'll subvocal her and ask. He's like looking out the window again, but asks, "Does this make you uneasy? His self-inflicted wounds?"
Deliverance thinks about that for a minute, and she realizes that she is not bothered in the least, but is intensely curious. And she says, "No, I think we have a lot to learn from him, or I do anyway. He doesn't really seem to be your type. You are Voltar."
Volta is definitely on a different side of the spectrum. I am curious myself. It'll be interesting to see how he operates and how you and he operate together.
Yeah. Curious about how Marques fits into all of this too. So
he'll speak out loud and say, is he actually knighted? Is he Sir Pureheart?
That's
or
how he
is it
introduced
Mr.
himself.
Pureheart? Okay.
Sir Pureheart.
He'll ask, Sir Pureheart, you were knighted by can the Pope knight people? Or does it have to be the Queen?
I was knighted, but with a papal knight. The papacy knighted me. That is correct.
You've met the Pope.
It is my greatest honor.
That is a very, very high honor, indeed.
Wow.
Yes, I have smitten down the evil doers in this world more times than I can count, and it brings me great joy, because together they will be like warriors in battle, trampling their enemy into the mud of the streets. Zechariah 10:5.
Oh, I knew. I thought that was one of the minor prophets, but nope, major. What deed did you earn your knighthood for?
Well, many and numerous. Particularly, I fought off a ravaging
audience.
What would you call it?
Chat. What?
Fought off a ravaging audience. You should see the internet these days.
Yes, they were booing and hissing.
I started a Twitter.
The stream crashed at least 7 times.
We need. Yeah, no, we definitely need some. We need a let's make up Pureheart's resume.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Shadow spirit.
I hadn't
wraith.
considered precisely how I became knighted.
While that's happening, you guys drive past the famous Trevi Fountain, the famous site of Maria Mercurial's music video La Dolce Vita, where she danced in the fountain, rocked the fuck out in it with her band.
Juggernaut. I'm not sure I know what a juggernaut in the Shadowrun universe is.
Can I?
Oh, that's like a big ass armadillo. It's an awakened armadillo.
Can I take
Size of a
2
bus.
suggestions?
Of
Yes.
course.
I'd like to do that.
Do it.
Because when I heard Juggernaut, I pictured an actual knight. So I'm gonna take a Shadow Spirit Juggernaut. So it looks like an actual like giant Juggernaut, the helmet, everything, but underneath is a like shadowy form.
Almost like it almost reminds me of a Nazgul.
Kind of, yeah. I'm thinking a little more heavier though.
Why don't we
I
just
was
make it
knighted
an
for throwing the ring into the volcano.
I would make it the Juggernaut, the giant armadillo. The thing's the size of a bus. When we did the Court of Shadows game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was your car. That was your van. It was
Yeah,
a Juggernaut.
My van was a Juggernaut. Yeah.
Oh!
So
Yeah.
he's a giant armadillo with shadow armor.
Yeah.
Yes!
Shadow spirit. Yeah.
He's a neutral evil, and he got
Oh my gosh, that is-
the fuck down.
That is so perfect. That is so perfect.
I really wish that these are one of these episodes where I wish I was on retro because she'd be more like, oh, you look exactly like my D&D character. Like she would totally be into that.
And you know what? I will also spend a plot point. This Juggernaut, because I know Juggernauts, they tend to have this tendency of running into populated areas and wreaking havoc, and then it takes like a lot to get them out. So yeah, this was a Juggernaut that was about to threaten the Pope's life.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Now I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Did you slay it, or did you stop it and lead it out to safety?
No, it was struck down with my holy hammer of righteousness.
Oh.
You dare threaten the life of the Pope in the streets of Rome, in his home? This is not acceptable.
Smote it.
I have a question just for Travis's brain. You're a dwarf, of course. 4 foot.
4 foot.
What is the front? Sorry. What does the front seat look like? Are the pedals brought higher up? Because you said you were 10 and 2, and you kind of gestured. It was still kind of in front of your face. How does the front seat, the cockpit of this?
In 2080, the hydraulics of adjustable seats are advanced enough to support him. Like he just when he gets in, it's one of those chairs that detects that it's his paladin butt that's sitting in the seat, and it just automatically goes me. I mean, it goes for a while. Me.
Yeah.
Do we have to wait? When we get
Yeah,
into
we're
the car,
like-
do we have to wait? We're like...
It's like when the old person wants to go down the stairs and they have to sit in the little chair.
Yeah, and also remember, like Palmer said, everything is AR controlled. So really, for the most part, he doesn't really have to.
Okay.
As long as he can see, he's fine. He doesn't have to step on any pedals or anything.
This is another one of those instances where I may
It's
have been
also
playing this game for a few years, but like I still haven't run into everything that can be done, and I've never even thought about
It's a crazy big 6 world, yeah.
half one. Yeah, like a half or like a shorter meta type doing things like driving.
There's an entire corporation in Shadowrun called Crime that does vehicles for trolls.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah.
So basically they just drill 2 holes in the top so the horns can poke.
They have a little neck hole, yeah.
Basically they only make convertibles.
The car of tomorrow.
Yes,
Alright.
so I did slay this juggernaut in the streets of Rome, and that was not the great feat, personally, that I thought. The greatest challenge of all was not loudly weeping in public when the Pope laid the knighthood upon me. I did, of course, weep, but silently. As demands the gravity of the ceremony.
But it is quite the honor. Not many people in their life achieve such a thing as knighthood. So that is a feat indeed.
I did not come here to gloat, however. If you look to the right here, you'll see the mausoleum of Hadrian. I hold it dear to myself as Saint Michael is my patron.
And you all get like this little AR overlay display. It's just like as your tour guide through Rome. It's like Castel Sant'Angelo.
Yes.
What an amazing city to live and work in. It's wow, must be incredible.
It is. Every day I am astounded and humbled by the history here.
And what type of work do you do for Marques? Did I get his name right? Machio?
Well,
Machio.
I'm a member of Wait. Quickly, what is my relationship with?
He is
is he in the order?
Yes. Well, no. He's a Johnson who you're pretty sure based on all the jobs that all of the work that you do for Mr. Machio has been in orientation of the church, and usually the church like puts you in contact with him. So like yeah, like you basically like you have he has some kind of relationship to the church.
Right.
Okay.
Well, the work I do with the order, are you familiar with the Order of Saint Sylvester?
No, I looked up a couple things when I knew we were coming here, but I know very little about you.
Well, the Order of Saint Sylvester is a part of the Catholic Church, and our purpose in the world is to seek out for the church and find magical items, artifacts, things, bring them back and procure them for the church for safekeeping here. I do work for them, and Mr. Machio is someone whom I'm put in touch with many times in order to be pointed in the direction me and my team pointed in the direction of things to find, shall we say.
So he's one of your informants, perhaps?
I suppose. Yes, you could put it that way.
Okay, interesting. Well, that's fascinating. You must be traveling all over the world then to find different artifacts and.
I go where I must, but yes, it does take us to many, many places. Me and my fellow Justicar.
Are the Colosseum and the Pantheon, do they still exist in Shadowrun?
Yes, they do.
Pantheon would be in Greece, though, right?
No,
is that in Greece?
Pantheon.
I thought that was in Rome.
Pantheon is in
that's
Rome.
in Rome?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
I've been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I think I would know. The Parthenon is in Greece.
I play video games. I think
Pantheon.
Now, on our way to where you're going, we won't be passing by it, but I can make a detour if you'd like to see it.
Well, if I believe we might be staying in Rome after the job is done, and if everything turns out all right, we may be able to do some sightseeing. We haven't got many days off for quite a bit, I think.
Nonsense! The traffic is not bad today, so we've got some time to kill. I'll take you by it. You should at least see it before you go to it. There's no reason not to. It's a beautiful piece of architecture.
I agree. If that is something everyone is up for, I have not been to Rome.
He's already put it into the AR thing.
Yeah,
we're going.
All right.
Yeah, so you spend the rest of the day going into night, basically just doing quick sightseeing tours of the Colosseum, the Pantheon, the Roman Forum, and in the distance is the Vatican. However, before we go there, chat. Let's have you have a meeting or they have a meeting with Mr. Machio. So let us know, where does this meeting take place? Now we know a little bit about Machio and Pureheart. And it could be one of these locations. Actually, that would be fun.
I'm just picturing a temple. My brain has gone into Pathfinder D&D land. So
Paladin comes in and just fucking
Paladin's giving me flashbacks to my old Pathfinder character. So
yes.
I'm
would
just
be
picturing a
cathedral.
Temple. Yeah, cathedral.
Really?
The
only Starbucks in Rome.
There aren't any.
Can you imagine a soy bucks with this armored dwarf and another possibly armored
I'm
man?
already imagining.
All right. Okay. Fine. Chat has spoken. Of all the places to go in Rome. Do you get a copy of this?
My God,
dude.
Chat.
We've got a lot of stuff. Rome has so much architecture that we could do
Right,
just a fucking Starbucks.
Oh my God.
It's can we just get Whataburger? Hey, fuck the Colosseum. What about the
You know what? Yeah, when you're in Rome, you buy coffee.
What is going on in here, Avenzi? I don't know.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Is the leaning tower here?
We're going to Starbucks.
Oh.
It could be a Starbucks that's like inside St. Peter's Basilica or something.
Yes, you know what? Yes, let's do this. Let's do that. Okay, so, plot point. I'm going to take that.
Lord.
I'm going to take the only Starbucks in Rome. There's plenty of soy bucks, but this is Starbucks.
like Starbucks.
This is
Starbucks.
premium
Okay.
actual coffee, and it is in
Okay.
Vatican City. It is in St. Yes, it is around St. Peter's Square.
And it's right next to a pizza joint called the Tower of Pizza.
Yeah. So Vatican City. You're first. There's basic not basic security. There's security, like where they check your IDs and stuff. But since you are with Pureheart, Pureheart basically just like says they're with me and waves you in, and you as you enter Vatican fucking City, this St. Peter's Square, think like a shit ton of columns and statues of saints. It's that area that's like lots of columns and kind of like a circle hallway. Right? It's kind of like hallway, circle, hallway, like that, but like really big. There's an Egyptian obelisk in the center. There's a couple of fountains, and it's got this like excellent view from the courtyard of the basilica, and that is the Starbucks. That courtyard nearby is where the Starbucks is, and there's a private special meeting room. It's upstairs, and it's super fancy.
Entering the Vatican City, I'm going to peer into the matrix, and what is the resonance like here?
The resonance here.
Since I can't look at the aura or anything.
There's I would say there's probably a lot of, at the very least you would notice lots of security. So
Understandable.
yeah. Any like all Vatican buildings, because I mean the Vatican City functions as its own like little mini city, like own country even. So it like has its own post office and like blah blah blah. So like all of those areas all have super high security.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because I mean they're dealing with.
And when you're walking through with Pureheart, despite being in, Vatican City, he still does look very much out of place. With his
Vinci.
full armor.
1,000 bits.
1,000 bitterinos.
Hashtag
Goodness.
Mr. Weathers was a hero.
Hashtag
Mr. Weathers.
I was the first.
Oh, guest off, guest fight.
Yeah.
Guest fight.
Get the hell out of here. Benzie. I kid.
I'm
really.
sorry, that's Mr. Weathers, not Sir Weathers.
Have you been knighted by the Pope, Mr. Weathers? I don't think
Yeah.
so.
I
Right.
have a question about the Vatican itself.
Yes.
Because obviously, the images for the Vatican now are modern to us, but how is it modern in Shadowrun? Like, how is it modern in the Sixth World?
They honestly, they don't do a lot. I mean, it's a lot of historic buildings. So any updates they would have done would have been
Like security purposes?
security wise. Yeah, like I would
Yeah.
imagine Deliverance would definitely see like this huge astral barrier all around the basilica, and like not just one.
Oh yeah,
like
she's
several.
definitely gonna. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't say that there would be spirits because they're not about spirits. So there's not. What you see more are actually like people astrally projecting. So there's mage guards that are keeping an eye, doing astral perimeter, but they're not. But there's no like summoned spirits watching for people. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And yeah, and lots and lots and lots of guards. The Swiss, the Pontifical Swiss Guard, which are like, and Pureheart would explain this to you, that they're like 100-some Swiss Catholic soldiers that are like dressed in like flamboyant Renaissance style fucking guard outfits, like from old school, like keeping up the tradition. And yeah, and they're keeping around, making sure that tourists are where they're supposed to be going, and if they need to, guard certain areas. They're elite.
Looking around at the guards, Fritz notices a man in a white hoodie jump from a rooftop to another rooftop and run away.
Don't mind him.
Always
doing
He'll come back in another hour or so.
Yeah.
And then
usually we chase him around for like 30 seconds, and then we just kind of forget about him when he jumps in a bale of hay.
The only time that we lose track of him is when he accidentally jumps off a rooftop.
He's just sitting on a bench. I can see him.
Oh my god, he's gonna he's fine.
Okay, all right. So Assassin's Creed jokes aside, skipping ahead, you find yourself now in upscale Starbucks. The drinks are $50 and up, 50 new yen and up.
Lord.
But it ain't soy. It's not soy, right?
Soy, yeah.
No,
It's
it is
real.
not soy. It's real. So if you would like to taste like fucking real coffee, this is your chance to treat yourself.
Bro,
How much karma does it take?
$50 is under 1 karma.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Oh.
whatever. 50.
.005.
Yeah, it's like
Walter's gonna get
0.05.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think Deliverance will too.
Hell yeah, dude. Bam.
She's kind of staring at it, and she cannot believe how amazing it smells.
Oh man.
Like, she has eaten shit food her whole life. She's never eaten something that didn't contain soy.
Janice?
She's just like,
Latte macchiato? Soy milk? No, wait, no. Skim milk.
cow milk.
Skim milk.
Yeah. Milk
thank you.
from a cow.
Milk.
Um,
Cow's milk.
Fritz definitely just. Oh God, such a father. Black coffee.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Deliverance
Travis.
has a pumpkin
Fritz,
spice
A
latte.
man after my own heart. I take it no other way.
Staying in America for so long, you forget the simple joys of just quality beverages and food.
Absolutely. I'll have my usual, an Americano.
Americano and a little like a croissant probably. Are you a croissant guy? A Danish guy?
Cheese Danish.
Cheese Danish? I could see a cheese Danish. Of course.
It matches his armor. It's like
They were already like
golden
preparing
brown
it.
and
They were already preparing like the usual for you, sir.
yes, absolutely. Thank you, Janice.
Deliverance takes a sip and looks and says, "You drink this every day?"
Oh, well, not every day.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
This is
perhaps
amazing.
Listen,
we are much closer than before. But Germany is only kilometers away, rather than it's still far away, of course. But it's as much closer than when we're in America. So perhaps we could go after all of this, and I could show you what a real country is like.
I've never
Absolutely.
traveled just to look at places. I mean, that's not even why we're here. I could get used to
drink
this.
your coffee. It's good for the soul.
I would imagine that Valder's still at the countertop looking at all the flavors and not being able to decide. And then when she does decide, which it is like a coffee, but it has like flavors in it. When she does get it and the lady is like, "Oh, can I get your name?" And of course she says Valter. She gets it back and then she shows the group and she goes, "My name isn't spelt with a U. It's an A." She just kind of like looks at it.
Walter.
Walter.
You know what's the best is when you give them the wrong name and then spell it weird. That's real fun.
Valder's just looking at it very confused, but she holds it.
All right.
So, Ubermensch, the Shadowrun world around Italy itself, What is that like?
Well, there are many shadows in the Vatican and in Rome that need to be run.
Um,
So I couldn't resist.
I'm glad you found where that sentence is going.
A lot of the things around here are of ancient nature, and magic is, of course, quite prominent. You see a lot of things around here of that nature. I've dealt with some myself. We've fortunately managed to find most of the magical artifacts and items around the area, at least those that we know of, and brought them under the protection of the church. But there's still much to be done. There are evildoers everywhere.
Yeah.
And also, like on a dirt, like the skeevier level of Rome, Pureheart would probably know this too. That there's the Sicilian mafia. They work in flesh trade, BTL sales, shit like that.
Yes.
Would I know that from my underground criminal knowledge?
Yes, you would.
Sweet.
Yeah, you would actually know, especially since you already know stuff about the Detroit Mafia. The Sicilian Mafia is like the mafia. It is the umbrella that then all of the other mafias are underneath. So yeah, no, they have. This is like the seat of it, and then like the biggest seat on the Commission, which is where all of the different heads of the mafia of like specific power centers in the mob.
Yeah.
Get
Do
together.
Do I
Make
know
decisions.
if yeah, I was gonna say, do I know if the major mafias protect other little mafias? Because if so,
Yes,
Major
they do.
mafia.
it is the major mafia.
I think we're fucked. Since we're
He-
here.
And Pureheart does tell you guys about this, and when he gets done, he says there are many unsavory factions within Rome and all over Italy and here as well. But fear not, we are under the protection of myself. You do remember your Matthew, don't you? And he looks at Deliverance, chapter 24, verse 6. You will hear of wars and rumors of war, but see to it that you are not alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come.
Yeah.
And he sits back and sips his coffee some more.
Well, I suppose it is still to come. Yes, hasn't arrived yet.
So, it's at this point that one of the fattest people that you've ever seen harumphs his way up the stairs, sweating.
Speaking of the Pope,
And he's got his peppermint mocha in his hand, and goes and says, "Ah, good. Hello. Wait, this is still Russian. I always do this.
You always do Russian.
Ah, good. Hello." And just kind of
sing some.
yeah. Aha.
Aha!
Aha.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you.
Say, a pizza pie!
A
Yeah.
pie. And so approaches, and behind him the these fire doors just kind of shut automatically, and like you have the entire upper area to yourselves, and there's a you have like this glorious view of the basilica from like just glass window panes, and like just kind of like a semicircular couch that you can sit in, and he just takes his seat right on the side and says, "Whew, those stairs are quite tall. Yes. It's good to see you again, Pureheart. And I believe this is Deliverance, who I've heard so much about."
Yes, good to see you as well, Senor Macho.
It's very good to meet you, sir. And may I say the everything in this city is delightful, but the coffee is particularly exquisite.
Aha, yes. Well, yes, I understand. I could see why. Yes, soy calf serve to
I didn't know what I was
unnecessary evil. Yes, I'm afraid with the food shortages in the world. Yes, but well, anyway, I'm glad that you're enjoying the coffee. Consider it on the house.
Oh, much appreciated. Now, may I inquire, what exactly have you heard about me, Mr. Machio?
Well, are your associates aware of your capabilities? Otherwise, I don't want to speak very frankly.
Yes, anything you have to say, they can hear.
Well, with well, either way, just for security, I won't be explicit, but your El Marques contacted me and said that you had potential, and your potential was due to your combination of abilities, which, as you can tell by my associate Pureheart here, also shares in his own style, of course.
So Deliverance, while he's talking, she flashes back to the Technology blood mage, who said pretty much the same thing to her, like, you have potential on you, I can smell it, and like trapped her hands out, and she kind of like takes a deep breath and kind of has to remind herself that she's okay. This person's not chasing her, not going to try to capture her, and she kind of like recenters as he's talking.
Mm-hmm. And so, what we figured we'd do is start off on, just consider it a ride along, and then after that occurs, Pureheart will report whether we continue.
All right. So you've got lots to teach me then, is what I'm hearing.
Yes. So let's just go ahead and consider that. And of course, your associates are valuable as well. We, of course, require those of your talents. You can't do it all alone. So,
do you have a specific job for us? Is that how we're going to run this?
Of course I do. Chat, it is now time for you to start throwing out suggestions for us. So we now, not a full job, just mention like different words and ideas and stuff that we can then combine and string together into a job. Although I do want, because we haven't really had a chance to explore this, I want to do something we can banish. I want to do like a spirit or possession or something. I want to do something. It just feels very right for Rome.
Yeah,
so,
we have Rome. We have two very spiritual characters.
Yeah.
There's it's very definitely. But yeah,
and if there's an artifact in the middle of it, that's cool too. I mean, whatevs.
The Ark of the Covenant.
Wow, that escalated quickly.
Yeah, it did.
I have a question, because I'm slowly learning spirits from my 5e campaign and this campaign. From like possessions and everything like that, is it like basically your typical Exorcist movie, and basically like a demon or whatever goes inside a person and babbles some shit?
There's different ways to banish a spirit. Some people invite them in, depending on your tradition. So if you're like a voodoo mage, you would allow yourself to be possessed. And there's other types, but yes, in this case, Christian banishing would very much look like an exorcism.
Okay. Okay, cool. I'm curious, because I'm like, can this like spirit / darker spirit or whatever, can it like hop around between different people? Because I think it would suck and also be awesome if multiple of us were possessed. And
it's a crazy sixth world. So
great.
All right.
I didn't want to give the suggestion because it's dangerous, but I was like, that'd be so cool.
Welcome. All right. So so Shepard, I'm going to take Shepard's suggestion of artifact destruction, since
I like that. Yeah.
he's here for the first time, so or she, or she.
And it's
That's a really
a
fun idea.
good
It's very-
tag.
Very Pureheart
Yeah.
that he would be after that kind of graph.
So Shepard, you have a raffle ticket. That's another thing. Like whenever you take your suggestions, that's a raffle ticket for $25 on DriveThruRPG, or this awesome T-shirt that we're gonna give away at the end of the show for Radio Free Detroit. Other suggestions I'm gonna take. I'll take.
What about? So you could be ghostbusting a church, and the reason that the church has evil spirits is because of an artifact that needs to be destroyed.
All right. So you go ahead and take a plot point for adding that in. So ghostbusting a church. A Master Shedem, Jesus.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know what that is.
A Shedem. It doesn't have to be a Master Shedem though.
But it could.
What's a Shedem?
But it certainly could. I don't know how
What's a Shedem?
short you want this campaign to be.
What's a Shedem?
A Shedim are
Shedim-
body snatching. They're body snatching spirits,
Yeah.
just like you were thinking with possession and stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, so-
Well,
Yeah, I
Paige.
love that.
So
Nobody really knows
real
what
cool.
super cool. Master Shedem. Thanks, Palmer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, thanks, Palmer.
God.
Thanks, Bummer.
You're lucky Deadeye wasn't here and found Ziggy. You're lucky.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's see.
It would have been another rooftop scene. No one wants that.
And then I guess we'll take. Oh God, no, not Bug Spirit. That could be. I'm Ghost of Mussolini in a Holiday Inn. No.
I like ghostbusting a church.
Yeah, we got that.
That's
one.
what we
We're
took.
ready to
We
go
took that one.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Got
far
that
we
one
have
gold.
Artifact Destruction, Ghostbusting a Church, and Master Shedem. How about let's get
We could take like the aqueduct. Like that's a place, other than the church.
I just don't want to do an aqueduct. I don't know. I don't want to do an aqueduct. That's me.
That's fine. I mean, we've done aqueduct multiple times.
Have we?
Twice. In season 1, at least.
I don't think
I
so.
do not remember going to an
I
aqueduct.
swear we did one.
Are you thinking
At
like
least
an
one.
aquarium?
No.
Are you thinking like an aquacology?
No,
There's
isn't
no way
like
we
an
did an
aqueduct like... Maybe I'm thinking of like sewers. This has been
Yeah.
a moment...
We
My
did. We
Page's
did go
brain.
into sewers a couple times. Aqueducts
Sewers
are
are
the opposite
kinda
of
like
sewers. They're up
aqueducts.
high with clean water.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
down low with gross water.
That's true.
Two sides of the same coin. Come on.
Yeah, really.
All right.
One
Two
goes in,
sides of
one
the
goes
same
out.
water coin.
Okay, so then I guess we'll just take one final suggestion. I'll scroll up a little bit here.
My dad is your dad.
Perfect. That would
okay.
be insane.
My father is Jesus.
Wow. Wow.
Topical.
Okay, so I just need to pick one. The artifact is a reliquary bone. I like that. Okay, thanks, Soy Mage.
What's
Cool.
a reliquary bone?
Like a bone of like an
many
ancient
things.
saint, maybe?
I was
Is
gonna say,
that
is
what
it? What I'm thinking is like Bloodborne shit, because that sounds like it came straight out of
My
Bloodborne.
understanding, okay, and correct me if I'm wrong. A reliquary is like where it's like a box that holds a saint,
Holy relics.
a holy relic, yeah.
Okay.
And it sometimes
So-
Why is it
holy
called
relic,
that?
Those relics could be the bones of a holy person.
reliquary,
Oh.
reliquary. Like yeah, so it's like
Okay.
about it holds different things, including and it could be like bones of a holy person. So like I know that there's in Spain I saw it. It was like the one finger from Christopher Columbus was in a reliquary.
Right, and so this might be why it was suggested, because of course, that if a lich is bound to a reliquary, the only way to banish it is to destroy the reliquary.
Exactly.
It's a loot box. Thanks, Gray Man.
It's a loot box.
A loot box of ancient dead people.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So yeah, it is.
I love
basically-
paywalls in my tabletops.
Yep.
Here's
Me
$5
too.
for that reliquary. Thank you.
All right. So, Giovanni.
But it wouldn't be the reliquary. It would be some fucking shader or some shit that you already have.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I'm so glad I can get repeats.
More
Yeah.
gold.
All right, so
That's the 5th sparrow I've got, Tess. Thanks.
Oh, that's a phylactery. Never mind. Okay. Anyway, sorry.
I thought you were joking. I thought you knew. I didn't want to correct you.
Nope.
But
No one wants to
Right.
correct Sir Pureheart.
short
Nope.
down, yeah.
I knew what a phylactery is because of Dragon Age.
me too. Yeah. All right, so
Nice.
all right, back on task. Back on task. All right, so
That dance actually goes well with this jazz music. Scream.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, back on track. I'm sorry, I just got distracted by Scream
Ba-ba-doo-da.
dancing.
yes, Machio says the we need to pick a church. One of the churches in Rome.
It's like a bazillion.
I know there's so many. A church brings you to a church. I mean, fuck it. Let's do the Pantheon. That's a church now.
That's a church now.
Yeah, fuck it. We're going to the Pantheon, guys.
Woo!
Because I'm going to spend a plot point for that. Welcome to the Pantheon. All right, so the Pantheon. There have been reports of strange sightings and Sir Magikarp. Thank you.
Sorry, I clicked on the link that Palmer had, and that guy who's wearing that shirt is hilarious. Sorry.
Thank you. Okay, so the Pantheon. There have been reports of strange evil, that malevolence that lurks in the walls of the Pantheon. So much so that they've actually had to shut it down. There was recently there was a mass murder that occurred in the Pantheon. Several tourists were killed in the onslaught, and the individual who was detained claims he had no recollection of it.
Ah.
It's interesting because this could also be our Halloween episode, and so having like a big ghost busting thing
Yeah.
fits pretty
It's
well.
like poetic. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, just talking about mass
that,
murder with this fucking elevator music,
Yeah.
I
It's
love
like,
it.
and then all of the people die.
and then
Yeah.
he killed his family.
And
Yes.
Deliverance says,
be-
sounds to me like that's the work of some kind of spirit, maybe a demon.
I think so as well.
You don't.
How is your tolerance for graphic violence?
Flashback. Flashback to the many like brutal it's like a bunch of hits and people dying. And
Just
Deliverance
a whole flashback of you summoning a blood spirit. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? It's a flashback of her seeing Voltar commit heinous, violent acts on all of these people. And she's like, and she kind of looks at Voltar and goes, I mean, we can manage.
Yeah. As he says that, and as you look at her, she kind of just does this, like, oh, yeah, you shouldn't ask that around me, type of thing.
Machio kind of clears his throat and sends you all some files via AR, and upon opening them, the bodies of the victims, all of their skin was clawed into and peeled off.
Ooh.
And so it's just hanging in loose shreds off their muscle and and skeleton, and to the point where it's just geez, this is really bad.
Yeah.
And they were then, of course, because I need to further this, they were nailed to the walls upside down.
Were they? Okay, were they? I was to say, is it in the cross symbol, or is
Upside
it
down.
Were they
Yes.
nailed in their
Okay,
hands?
that's cute.
Yeah,
In their neck,
in their neck.
and their feet, hung upside down. on the walls of the Pantheon.
Deliverance like takes a couple glances and then looks away and says, "Well, I wasn't expecting that."
I did warn you.
Yes, you did. That is heinous. We must stop this.
Fritz, he looks at it, and just as he's about to get uncomfortable, he like basically like puts them in a zip file and then gives it to the archivist.
Yes.
Voltar her stomach does not turn. She's looking at this very intently. She's the only one that I'm guessing leaves the file open as she looks at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, give me a perception test, Voltar.
Sure.
Good thing you're looking at stuff.
What is that again? Because I had lost my
Willpower
sticky
plus
note.
logic. Meanwhile,
I'm
the
not-
archivist, upon receiving the imagery, says, "I don't understand what these meat bags are. It just looks lots of flesh. What is this?"
He'll explain. So hold on. Archivist can't hear what's going on outside of the Matrix. Is that what I'm gathering? Is that
Remember
he
that
has
your
to be-
deal
Archivist has to be told?
now is like all of your memories are going to be stored in the vault in periodic uploads.
Right.
So potentially, yes. If you still remember
But-
these things, yes.
Other than that, if Archivist didn't have a direct line to my memories, Archivist is stuck in the Matrix,
Correct.
like perceiving that way. So okay, so if I were to hear information, Archivist wouldn't necessarily have that information already.
Correct.
Okay, just making sure. But yeah,
Thanks,
and then
Shepard.
he'll basically explain what's happening.
I'm gonna
Bye, Shepard.
pre-edge.
Stop the
I can't-
genophage, Shepard.
And I still got 2 successes, even though I
Nailed
pre-edged.
it. What about?
Okay.
Oh, you did pre-edge.
Yeah, I did.
Wait.
But
No, there's no.
I can't reroll. Yeah, yeah. Of all of the ones that I could have been 4s, they were fucking 3s.
All of them, yes. There's a lot of meat and blood. And actually, you know what? Because you did not succeed your perception test, I get to ask the audience.
Well, that's fine. As long as I see something, I'm happy.
Yeah. What further complication is there that Voltar notices in the photo? There's something that is going to really cause a huge hiccup for Voltar and Fritz.
Oh, good.
And the others.
As the fighting experience wasn't bad enough.
Yeah.
While chat thinks up some obscure detail, I'm curious to know what Pureheart's reactions are to this photo.
He's looking very stern and beginning to smolder with anger, and he says, "What vile creature would desecrate the church like this? Desecrate holy things and holy symbols." And he takes a deep breath and calms himself, and he looks around to see if any of them look at all perturbed by this. Who does he notice, if anybody does?
Deliverance for sure.
Okay, well, the first person he would have noticed would be the first person who spoke up. So so he in centering himself, he looks over and reaches his hand out and puts it on Deliverance's shoulder and says, "Remember." And he says, "Pray with me for a moment." And he looks up and he says, "You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you."
Deliverance is moved to the core by that quote, and she looks at him and says, "Thank you. That is exactly what I needed to hear." I don't know how you do this kind of work all the time.
It's not quite as graphic and grim as this usually, but we take our task in stride, and we do what we must.
Only through the strength he gives us.
Indeed. He picks up his warhammer off the table because he would have put it on there, and he picks it up, and whatever was underneath it just falls onto the floor. He just picks it up.
My peppermint mocha!
He puts it onto his whatever we decided that thing was called.
Luke.
Belt loop.
It's a belt loop.
Yeah.
It's a leather belt loop. It's for maces and hammers.
It's a
There you
sling.
He puts it on there.
So I'm gonna take. There's lots of really good ones, but I think the one that's gonna cause the most complication up front is the victims are all infected. So so I'm taking that from Palmer. You notice that. And actually, you know what? I'll take that, but I'll also take. No, I'll just take those.
Okay.
Oh, wait, no. Should I do it? I should do it.
Okay.
I'll take it. Soy Mage. Yes, they're also Ares citizens. You would recognize, like, they have the Ares, like, they have Ares pins and everything.
Wow.
So, what you can deduce, and based off of the employee numbers, because like the files are also going to come with like just kind of a rundown of the different victims. All of these were Ares wage slaves, and they all had passed their physicals and such, so they were not infected prior. So what you can deduce is that whatever killed them infected them in the process. So,
Walter will share this.
You see, like, the onset, like it was like a really rapid onset. It had to have been a really rapid onset of the infection. So yeah, they like Palmer's suggestion, they have like the cloudy eyes and like their skin is even starting to like green a little bit, grayish green.
The skin that they have left.
Yeah.
Walter will point this out in key details. She'll point out the skin first. And she'll kind of squint at it, and she'll look at Pureheart and, I'm sorry, the big guy. His name? Murdoch? The guy in front of us?
Machio?
Machio. Don't know why I was thinking
Murdoch.
Just think about Karate Kid.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And she'll ask them, have you ever seen something like this? That's clearly not an orc skin tone. Or any other race.
Machio says this looks like HMHPV. However, they entered the Pantheon without. We don't allow the infected inside of the Pantheon. And somehow
it looks
they
evil.
Contracted it.
It looks like that's taking over the corpses. Also, I have noticed their decorations. Their pins and IDs. They are Aerie employees.
Yes, they are. They were citizens on a. They were citizens on an employee retreat, and they were on vacation on what do they call it? Like it's like a paid. They were on paid leave, and like one of the excursions. That Ares provides, one of the options.
Corporate retreat.
Corporate retreat to Rome, yes.
Yeah.
It's part of their religious Ares citizens program.
Actually, I guess it is not needed. I guess it's out there now. Walter will mention, do you think that they were targeted as that, or they were unfortunate to be there at the time of the attack? Obviously, what is happening in Detroit would set some people off.
I never made that connection. I can't say. I'm afraid I'd be jumping to conclusions if I said yes or no.
Were there anyone else who was infected other than Aerie employees?
To our knowledge, no.
Was the area closed down for an event?
No. No, they were doing a tour.
And the only ones who were actually attacked were employees.
According to the report, no one witnessed the crime. They were found this way.
Who were the ones who got away that you questioned?
No, those who came. Would it be like probably like a tour guide? I will say a tour guide who came across it with the tour group as they rounded a corner and they came upon the grisly scene.
And has that area been closed off to other tourists, I imagine?
Yes, it has.
And the bodies, where are they?
They are. We've at the insistence of the Pope, they are currently still there for inspection.
Has a priest seen to these bodies? It's likely if they've been infected that their souls are being prevented from entering heaven.
Possibly, yes.
I love this guy.
This is unacceptable. We will go there now.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. Did I hear that right? Voltar's gonna give him a look as he says that. Because Paige's brain might say this wrong. Because I'm gonna reiterate. So you're saying that because they're infected, they can't enter heaven.
I didn't say that.
Pureheart did, though, right?
No, Pureheart's saying I didn't say that. He says I didn't say that.
Oh my god! But that's what I'm
Pope
trying to.
said that.
That's what I'm trying to make sure. That's what I'm trying to make sure because out of character, I want to make sure before Voltar puts her foot up the ass.
It could certainly be interpreted that way. Yes.
I'm gonna say Voltar's gonna interpret it that way, and she'll just give him a look.
Oh, okay.
But she'll go back to the main thing.
And Mashio is going to just kind of continue the hypothesizing with Pureheart and say, well, in general, in sites of mass evil in such a way, I fear that the holy sanctuary that it occurred in, it would prevent them from peacefully moving on. Yes. And that is a concern of the Pope as well. You need to preserve the sanctity
As it should
of
be.
the Pantheon.
Excuse me. I should not be so presumptuous in presuming what the Pope should or should not think.
No,
but
you are excused. These are trying times for all of us.
This angers me greatly.
It angers me as well. Well, now that we understand the gravity of the situation, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Voltar was just gonna mention, instead of being angry, we should be doing something instead of sipping coffee.
Well,
No truer words have been spoken.
I did have a quick question about this. Neither Voltar or myself are...
And Pureheart interrupts, and he's got all of his stuff on. He says, "The time for questions has passed," and he leaves.
He's very motivated.
Yeah, he has the mask on, but his mouth kind of hangs open. And then, no, he wouldn't have his mask on because he's drinking coffee.
Yeah.
But he just... neither Voltar or I are awakened, technically. I have no ability to deal with spirits. Obviously, Deliverance and so Pureheart will be able to do that. Are Voltar and I even required for this? I don't know how much we could do without the ability to interact with spirits themselves. I feel like we would be in putting ourselves in danger that we could not defend ourselves from.
Or in the way.
Well, it sounds to me like this spirit is controlling and moving things physically, so there may be some physical barriers we have to breach. As for the Matrix, I'm not sure.
Surveillance.
The only thing...
all of the Pantheon is covered in security cameras, and I can get you access. All you have to do is show up in the security control room. Of course, we checked the security cameras.
What did you see on them?
I would be able to also find.
They were unfortunately murdered off camera.
Well, yes, access granted to that would help greatly, and I guess I will do some digging to find what else the Pantheon has that I could access and bring to our benefit. But I believe Pureheart is correct. Before more people are fallen victim to this, we should make haste.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Okay.
you hear out in like down the stairs because they went upstairs to this place, right?
Yeah.
You hear down the stairs as he's like stomping past. Somebody's saying to him like, "Oh, is there anything I can help you with?" And he just says, "Out of my way! Justice will be done." And he storms out.
Excellent.
All right.
So the it's funny. I wonder how now that I'm looking at the interior of the Pantheon, I wonder how the spirit would have even gotten away with it, given how there's like, it's like a room.
Sounds like something we could think about over break.
Yeah.
I have a small bladder.
Me too.
Well, I mean, it's like 11:40. I'm actually kind of wondering, do we just want to call it for the night and like pick this up next week? I mean, in 2 weeks. Bobby is willing to come back.
That's up to Bobby.
I think.
Yeah, I'm fine with coming back.
I think
It's up to you guys.
what we could do, because we still have a good 20 minutes or so. I think what we could do, unless Travis is bursting, because I can hold
I am.
it.
I am definitely.
I'm
Then
bursting
never mind.
as well.
I was thinking that we could get to that area and then leave it on a cliffhanger, and
I mean,
or
this would
the
be-
arrival, even if it's just 5 minutes for that arrival. But I think that would be a good ending, other than ending it where it is right now.
Sure.
Now that Pureheart
Let's say-
knows that the rest of the people know about Deliverance, he might want to have a conversation with her on the ride anyway.
Let's do that. Why don't Trav, go ahead. You're excused.
Go, Travis.
You're excused. And then
I gotta go too, okay? So
Oh,
Yeah, he has to go too.
it's right there. The
Can we take
bathroom's
like a
right there.
3-minute break?
I'm just going, chat.
okay.
Just a bathroom minute break.
Yeah.
Hey, while we're going, why don't you remind everybody about
Sure.
Twitch Prime and all that kind of stuff?
Oh yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
Stuff.
I'm gonna go since everyone else is going.
All right. So, what?
I'm good.
Hey, Deliverance, how's it going?
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So,
Ladders of steel.
so yes, Twitch Prime. Twitch Prime, you can do a free sub a month, and you have to keep it up though. So like, double check and make sure that your subscription might have already been up if you previously subscribed. Feel free to sub to us if you like what we're doing, and that'll.
I did it last month.
I did it. I did it on.
Subscribe via Twitch Prime.
I did it yesterday, actually, during the Starfinder
there you go.
campaign we were doing. So yeah, Twitch
missed
Prime.
one.
If you have Amazon Prime, you automatically have Twitch Prime, and you get 1 free sub a month. So, and then that money goes to us, which is awesome.
So, what's the plan?
The plan is everyone's peeing.
Wait for Paige.
Well, actually, I don't know. I think we could potentially have the conversation without.
Jump in.
Yeah,
Okay.
she'll jump in. All right, so you are now back in the Eurocar West Wind, and
Okay. Yeah, so they're on the drive, I'm guessing.
you know what?
On the way to the Pantheon.
No, fuck it. Let's just go to the Pantheon. Let's just walk you guys in.
Yeah.
So the Pantheon. The Pantheon, when you walk into it, it's just like this big dome structure with this giant like hole at the top where the sun, just like this. Well, I guess now it's nighttime, so it's really kind of like. It's any lighting is lighting that's left like spotlights that have been placed, but they're it's in general the interior is very dimly lit. marble flooring and lots of like columns all around, and I believe it doesn't look like it's it could be 2 floors. Like there's actually like it looks like there's you go around, you have all the different statues, and then on top there's like a deck area that's behind walls, and like every so often there's a window that looks into the interior of the Pantheon. And the once you enter the church, Pureheart would recognize some people in regalia. They would point out all of the different places of interest that you currently have access to. So one being the crime scene, which is on the second floor, and then the security room for Fritz to go and plug into.
All right. I mean, first things first, I'll astrally perceive, see what we can see.
Yeah, there is a. You go ahead and give me your astral perception.
Okay, doke. My first dice roll. Would that be willpower and logic?
Yes.
Also, you should pre-edge because we're going to end this session soon.
I forgot to pre-edge, but I got 7 successes, and you know what? I'm gonna post-edge.
There you go.
Roll my 3 failures for 8 successes.
Nice.
God damn.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so go ahead and ask the audience what you would like out of your.
Yeah, I want to see what is if there's anything here. Obviously, there's going to be something magical, probably just in general, because of the location. But what I want to know is, wow, there's a lot of opties in chat.
There is.
What I want to know is anything that senses evil or anything that senses out of place.
I
Something that could
detect
have done
evil.
such an atrocity. Yes, I'm detecting evil and
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we'll wait on that.
Wait on chat. My cameras are being like really buggy on Streamlabs, so sorry about that. We'll wrap this up
We're
shortly.
almost done.
Yes. So, so while you are kind of just scanning the area, the envoys from the church look at Pureheart and say, we will leave this to you and just guard the outside.
Indeed.
And so they, everybody kind of just clears out of the Pantheon, and they're going to, they kind of just leave you in this cavernous building.
Well, Pureheart is slowly walking around, looking around, and he's taken out from under his armor and around his neck the rosary beads he carries with him, and there's a crucifix hanging on it. But he's walking through and slowly, as he's looking around, pushing the beads one by one through his fingers, and you can see him on his lips muttering prayers.
Are you walking around in the crime scene area? Sorry.
Yes.
Yes.
Walking around where the bodies are.
Yeah.
I
So
think Balder will accompany you.
yeah. So when the three of you just kind of get up to that area, you see the string of bodies just hanging like side by side, and like one which even one is like up, nailed onto the ceiling. And the aura here is just dark, black, sick. Like you're just like, oh god, this is gonna take like forever to clean up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Palpable energy.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed,
So I think
Voltar.
I think the astral, what Deliverance perceives in astral is that, of course, that sort of like thick, heavy, almost blackness over the whole space. But there's also something, whatever it was it's sort of reveling in the bloodshed part of it. It's definitely blood-based magic, or a blood-based spirit of some kind. And what scares Deliverance is, and I'm going to take Soy Mage's suggestion, that she feels connected to a part of it, and a part of her almost understands and enjoys that feeling of drawing power from blood, and she is fighting and resisting it, but she feels like that pull towards the magic that she's had ever since her change.
Does she seem visibly upset?
Yeah, she's and she's not really looking at the bodies because she's astrally perceiving. She's kind of looking around.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks pretty perturbed.
Okay.
I would actually say that Fritz accompanies them inside to have a look at everything physically before finding a place where he can plug in and survey through the matrix. And can I do a biotech on these bodies to try and get a more specific understanding?
Sure.
So that's just fucking... That's it. 7. And well, that's still 3, and I am still going to use one of my last tip edge. So 5.
Okay. Yeah, these looking at everything, the killing blow were the nails to the neck.
Okay.
So they were alive when they were...
Right. And then the skin, based on like the amount of, like, as you're kind of just looking at it, the amount of, there's space between the nail and the wound, which kind of implies that the head was kind of moving back and forth, and that to you implies that the skin was after being hung up, was when it was torn to shreds. So like that, all of that caused, and like...
Yeah, he will not share that with anybody, as to not give them that to think about. But he does, he looks over it, and he has kind of a grim expression on his face when he, like, it all kind of connects. And he kind of finds himself kind of standing next to the knight, the Sir.
Pureheart?
Pureheart.
There you go.
And he kind of just vacantly mutters, he's like looking at them, and I guess he kind of does kind of mutter towards him, and says, and the dust returns to earth as it was, and the spirit to God who gave it.
Indeed. This is... something evil has been here, there's no doubt about that. But we will discover the truth. For we live by faith, not by sight, Fritz. And he puts his hand on his shoulder.
Fritz will just kind of nod. Yeah. I would say Fritz is... I can't remember if I gave him a height. But
if he's,
I think he's tall and thin.
Well, if he's an elf, for sure. He doesn't put his hand on anybody's shoulder. He firmly grasps his forearm.
Yeah.
This, I thought you were saying butt.
Yeah.
It looked like it, and I was like,
fucking
I
gives
guess
him a good, sweet... Hey, Fritz plays tennis, dude.
He's European. He's used to that.
He's European.
How loud do you say that, Pureheart?
He says basically everything like this.
Yelling.
Okay.
Yes.
Walter,
In this empty hall, he's probably echoing quite loudly.
Walter will look over her shoulder and listen to that, but she looks like she's about to say something, but stops herself.
Do you have a question, Voltar?
No, I just find it funny that you follow faith. so harshly, when in reality you are the one who paves your own path, not a god.
I follow only what my heart tells me to follow. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. Proverbs 3:5. I go where the light takes me. But the light is not here. Not now.
I suppose you find that to be noble. In a way, it is. But to me, it sounds like you're blind.
Please, this is not the time for a religious discussion. This is, we are on the clock here.
Boltar, your candor is honorable, and I appreciate it.
Baltar will keep quiet, and she'll walk over to the bodies, and she looks over the pins and identification of Ares, and she slowly just grabs the patch on her leather jacket and just squeezes it a bit.
Those poor Ares citizens.
It's more of, for the first time, it's more of that Walter is actually afraid that this could happen to her right now. Because she completely believes that whatever this thing is targeting Ares people.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it could have been anything. But she feels more vulnerable now than she did, say, next to the Mafia. And it's visibly seen. Even though she tries keeping up, her appearance.
So, standing amidst the grisly scene here in the Pantheon, the four of you take in the sight and get to work. And that's where we're gonna that's where we're gonna call it. Yeah. So hey, that was an interesting session. Great way to do our
Yeah.
2-year stream-anniversary.
Yeah, stream anniversary.
There we go, music.
Stream-anniversary.
Apologies for all the weird lagging. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna have to just keep doing more work.
That's all the dark spirits that are about.
Yes, that must be it. Damn technomancers. It's all technomancers. Well, thank you, Bobby. And of course, Bobby, you will be...
Yes.
Thanks for volunteering yourself to return next week.
I will come back as often as you want me to. Pureheart is already my favorite character I've ever played.
He's so great. Oh my
He's
gosh.
awesome.
He's fantastic.
He's lovable.
Love it.
You know what the hardest part about playing this character is?
What?
Scanning my list of Bible
Bible
verses,
I was about to say,
looking for ones appropriate for a situation.
Love it.
You've been doing great so far. So.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. So the stream boss for the night is Avenzi. So Avenzi will be creating the next NPC.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I called it. It's done. But feel free to continue donating. Appreciate it.
Never stop.
Give
Whoa.
Soy a moment. They really don't want. Yeah. Hey, you know what though? We would greatly appreciate you donating.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Mrs. Weathers.
Oh God.
Yep.
Sorry. All right. The winner of $25 on DriveThruRPG is being Palmer for Master Shadow.
Hey!
Palmer.
I love that
Good
he gets
job.
rewarded
Nice.
for Master Shadow.
Yeah.
Just wait. I'm gonna do a lot of nice research on that and make sure that I deliver the
Yeah.
best possible
And
Master Shadow I can.
All of the viewers will be rewarded next time
Yes.
by Master Shadow.
Yeah.
And the winner of the T-shirts is Shepard
Yes.
for Artifact Destruction.
Hey!
Hey, Shepard!
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's not here to
So,
see the
when
win. Yeah, but
No.
We'll have to hit him up on wherever we can.
wherever
he did
we
say
can,
that
yes.
they said that they were on the Discord chat a while
There
ago.
you go.
Excellent.
So
Awesome.
Well then.
Let me see here.
Congratulations.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Congrats and thanks for all of the support throughout all of the years, as well as on tonight's show, and couldn't do it without you guys. And so fuck it. So things that we need to do. You can see us again in 2 weeks on the second Monday. What is that going to be? That's
November
5th.
November 5th is our next episode.
I may be absent for that. That's my mother's birthday. So I may be absent for that if we're not celebrating it on the day.
Okay.
I'll keep the GM in touch. It just came to my head.
Sure. But also we have lots of other pen and paper RPG shows going on. We've got and just shows in general. If you liked Bobby's rendition of Pureheart and just watching me flounder, Wednesday we're going to be doing Once Upon a Tabletop, where we roleplay our board games, and that's going to be the Arkham Horror card game that we were going to roleplay.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Scrim, I heard that you have a husband.
I do have a husband.
Oh, yeah?
And he plays Arkham Horror. And he's gonna play with you guys.
Yeah.
He just
What a
came back.
coincidence.
What a
He's
coincidence.
gone for 5 days. Yeah. At Arkham Knights, so he's like warmed up. That's like their big nerd convention. So he's like warmed up and ready to play. That's super fun.
Yeah, so
Excellent.
that's going to be our guest on Wednesday night. And I may or may not be going to the Halloween costume store tomorrow to get a blonde wig to depict what's her name, the librarian lady.
Yes.
That's
I
amazing.
will be Jenny Barnes. I'm borrowing a hat from my mother, a nice big blue or purple hat. I don't know. I have to
Nice.
find out some white.
Jenny's a badass.
I love Jenny. Yes, so the three of us are going to be playing Arkham Horror. He already showed us how to play the card game, which is awesome, and he runs his own podcast called Mythos Busters. So if you are interested in the Arkham Horror card game and getting better at it, that is your prime resource. In addition, we have other RPGs. We've got next Monday, so the Mondays in between Join the Anarchies weeks, is Misspent Youth was not returning that Monday. They return next month. So actually on the 29th is Jackbox. Party Pack 5 has been released, and that's going to be with me and Trav. So definitely
Nice.
come by and play with us.
Do it.
Expect
should.
mass amounts of alcohol and maybe slight offensive material.
Yes.
Life.
And you know what's so great about Jackbox games? Is that you, the audience, can sign in on your phones. Because your
That's
phones
right.
are your controllers.
Yeah,
Not
you can
only
play-
can you,
Oh my god, that's
Tablet,
party games
whatever.
that you can be a part of.
Computers.
not only can you participate, but we depend on it.
Yeah, it's kind of true.
And then in
Right.
addition, we have other shows. We've got a Pathfinder, Starfinder just started, so definitely check out
right.
both of those. We have the videos up here on our Twitch and soon on our YouTube. Follow our YouTube. Get on Discord, follow us there. You can hang out with us, and lots of stuff going on in the Shadowcasters network. I could go on and on about it all day. Bobby, go ahead and plug your complex action, and then we'll sign
Yeah,
off.
so go to youtube.com/complexaction and check out some of the YouTube videos I have there. I have a lot of old, I did a lot of advice videos back in the day, but most of what I do now are GM screen videos, which are quick 3 to 5 minute rules explanations about Shadowrun 5th edition. Almost 100 of them. So that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Also, if you like World of Warcraft, I stream World of Warcraft on this network twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays are raid nights, and Thursdays are watch Cassie squirm and curse at us and let us die night. She's our healer.
I didn't realize there was a difference between those two nights.
Well, it would be. Cassie doesn't raid, but anyway, it's a lot of fun, and you should come because we have a blast. Damien is regretfully there as well. Avenzi in the chat room.
Regretfully.
Dang. All right.
So jealous.
All right, so we'll see you in 2 weeks for the return of Pureheart and the investigation.
I shall return.
Yes, and we are going to go ahead and raid the Bubbernaut, who is, I believe, still
Hell
playing
yeah,
Hera's
dude.
own Shadowrun Anarchy game.
Ooh, they've been playing for a long time.
Yeah, they
were playing
have.
before us, too.
Nuts. So let's go.
I want a shameless plug shit.
Oh god, it's too late. I'm sorry.
The rating's already happened.